when I go up to a house, I keep it very simple. All right. Because, you've heard me talk about this before. I try to be in and out. Time is money. You can do a 15-minute inspection or you can do an hour and a half inspection. Either way, you'll probably gain the same amount of information. It's just a matter of how efficiently you go through that process. So when I walk up to a house, I introduce myself. Hey, how's it going? I'm Jeremy, the field adjuster. How are you today? And they'll usually that's enough for them to say, hey, great, great. Thank you for coming. Come in, or, okay. And that's it. And just based on whatever the piece of paper that you walk up there with, if you haven't gotten them before, you're going to know at least, you're going to probably have a feel for what type of claim it is. Some companies will give you a very detailed explanation of what happened before you get there with the receipt of the assignment. Other companies will not. I've worked with companies that literally will just give you an assignment, and the most you're going to get is whatever was labeled inside of Xactimate. It might say like wind damage, water damage, or something like that, and you have to figure the whole thing out. But whatever it says, that is usually what I'll open with. So I understand you had some water damage inside the house. So I understand there was a fire. So I understand something, and then let them do it. Because all of you got to recognize when you do get those descriptions with the assignment that outlines this information that you get provided with the receipt of the assignment, it could be information that the policyholder said over the phone to an intake person, and that intake person put notes in, and you're reading that person's notes. So it's important that you address what's in the notes. But once I go into a house, I don't take those notes as gospel, because really, again, if it's an intake person that's just recording what the insured is saying over the phone, they can misinterpret what the insured is saying. So I don't care so much about what is said on that piece of paper. What I care about, number one, is what I find and what they tell me. So I want them to now tell me what the damage is. And plus, they could have written up that entire thing weeks prior. They could have put the claim in weeks prior, and they've discovered more damage since then. So I don't like to really go off of, and I don't think anyone else here should really go off of what's on there, but just make sure that if there's something on there, let's say, for example, the loss notice says wind damage to the roof caused damage to ceilings, walls, and floors. Okay. And we walk in. Now I'm going to walk in and say, hey, yeah, I understand you had some wind damage to the roof and some water got inside. That's the trigger for them to start explaining to me what happened, because we want them to explain what happened. We want them to feel like they told their adjuster everything that happened. If they don't feel that way, they're going to feel like you missed something. Even if you didn't give them the opportunity to speak. So we want to give them the opportunity to speak. So get in there, open up the conversation. So what happened? I always tell them, ask them what happened. So then they bring us inside. They show us the ceiling. Don't know, there's water damage on the ceiling. There's water damage, and it came down the walls. I don't know where it's coming from. I went in the attic. Still couldn't figure it out. I don't know, right? The loss notice, though, says something about flooring, though. So you want to make sure that you mention the flooring, because you don't want to completely forget about it. They may just end up saying, oh yeah, we thought it was damaged, but we just took some towels to it and mopped it up. In that case, you just want to make sure that you at least take a picture of that floor, just to show, hey, we looked at the floor. Because at that point, then, from somebody 1,000 miles away, the desk adjuster, they're going to look to say, hey, this person opened up a claim for ceiling, wall, and floor damage. It looks like you only checked out the ceiling and walls. And they're going to ask you, why didn't you check out the floor? And then you're going to say, I did check out the floor. It was okay. Which now you're forcing the desk adjuster to believe you, to trust in you. And they probably don't know who you are. And you don't want to be in that position. Any good desk adjuster at that point will probably tell you, we need you to go back out there because I'm paying you for a full job and you're giving me partial results. And I'm sure you don't want partial pay.